want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Hey everybody, this is Jason Dean with the Joe Blue Movie Network. There's some pretty imaginative creatures and beings we encounter in the movies, and most of them you wouldn't want to mess with. This week, let's count down the top 10 badass movie aliens in our universe. Number 10 is Syl, or Eve if you prefer, from the extremely sexy alien fright fest Species. Natasha Henstridge in her human form is the main reason you want to watch this, of course, but her portrayal of the alien during the reveal scenes is nightmare fuel for the ages. She's extremely strong and is nearly unkillable. But the worst part is, when she wants a baby, she gets a baby. So we basically have an alien sexual predator who goes around shoving tentacles down men's throats to impregnate them. Yikes. Number 9 are the alien bioluminescent gorilla dogs, or whatever. We never actually get a name for them. All we know is that they basically show up and devour people by eating them alive. They are killable at least, but the problem is they show up in packs, which makes it that much more difficult to kill so many at once. Also, the most badass part is their bodies seem to reflect almost no light, so all you see is their glowing teeth right before they kill you. That's pretty damn badass if you ask us. Number 8 is going back to a movie that seriously scared me when I was a little kid. I think it was the first time I ever watched something at an age that I probably wasn't quite ready for. Invasion of the Body Snatchers came out in 1978 when I was 4, but I'm pretty sure I saw it later when I was about 7 or 8. And even then, it was probably a bit too much. The idea of the pods is exceptionally creepy, particularly how the 70s special effects showed them to us. It's a badass alien race when basically plants grow clones of us to take over the planet.
We came here from a dying world. We drift through the universe from planet to planet, pushed on by the solar winds. We adapt, and we survive. The function of life is survival.
Speaking of taking over planets, where was Superman when we needed him in Superman 2, when General Zod, URSA, and Non showed up? Here we see the Kryptonians basically defeating all of the military units that are thrown their way, without even breaking a sweat.
I always win.
Then we see them enter the White House to force the President of the United States to kneel before them and give over full control. The entire human race seems powerless against these guys, and for good reason. It's basically a trio of superhumans with the same power as Superman, and that's pretty damn badass.
What I do now, I do for the sake of the people of the world. But there is one man here on Earth who will never kneel before you.
Who is this imbecile? Where is he?
I wish I knew. Oh, God.
Zod.
Number 6 is Loki. Now hold on, I can hear everyone out there crying about how they aren't aliens but instead demigods. The Marvel Cinematic Universe bends the rules a bit. Comics fans understand that the Asgardians are gods, of course, and not aliens per se, but the MCU regards them as aliens to make it easier for the mass appeal of the general audience. Now that we've said that, let's see why he is so awesome. Loki can imitate others, put them under his control, and has an assortment of powers to boot, but his biggest claim to fame is being able to withstand a hell of a beating by the Hulk and still live to talk about it.
Enough! You are all of you beneath me. I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
I won't touch Barton, not until I make him kill you. Slowly, intimately, in every way he knows you fear. And then he'll wake just long enough to see his good work. And when he screams, I'll split his skull. This is my bargain, you mewling quim.
You're a monster.
Number 5 is Edge of Tomorrow, with the introduction of the alien race we call the Mimics. These creatures are the most recent addition to the list in terms of cinematic introduction. The Mimics are simply ruthless killing machines, burrowing from under the ground and moving at incredible speeds, with flailing tentacles and body parts that are completely unpredictable. An army of soldiers in mech suits can barely contend with the creatures in this Tom Cruise action extravaganza.
I'm waiting, Nance.
500 meters and closing fast! What What's next?
Straight shot. Up the hill.
Number 4 is more of a concept than a specific creature. A kaiju literally means strange beast, but is predominantly used to describe a gigantic creature wreaking havoc on a population. Recent pop culture associates kaiju with the Pacific Rim franchise, since that is the term used specifically to describe the interdimensional alien monsters sent to our planet. But the original Cloverfield monster is another example of the idea of a kaiju, harkening back to the old Godzilla movies. Speaking of Godzilla, he himself could be considered a kaiju, but generally isn't, since he is from our world and not necessarily an alien. But instead, kaiju mostly refers to the villains of Godzilla, who generally are of alien origin. Number 2 is the intergalactic game hunter alien we refer to simply as Predator. The creature has had a long and varied cinematic presence, even taking on some xenomorphs from Aliens along the way. The Predators throughout their franchise feature thermal imaging, cloaking, and an all-around kick-ass look. While not invincible, they pretty much are unstoppable. They tower over humans not just in height, but in sheer bulk and strength. They are a combat race and have a wealth of technology at their disposal to give them an even more unfair advantage. The Predator is one of the deadliest aliens we've ever seen on film.
Ugly motherfucker.
And our number one goes to one of the hardest to defeat aliens of all time just due to their sheer numbers. The Alien franchise gave birth to the xenomorphs, which are some of the most unstoppable killing machines ever released to the cinema. Not only are the soldier xenomorphs the ones we all fear the most, but you also have to deal with the younger facehuggers who impregnate human hosts with the future xenomorphs. But then you also have to deal with the queen, who of course lays the eggs of the facehuggers, which then lay the eggs to create more soldiers. But what's even worse than that is even killing an alien in close quarters combat is as dangerous as fleeing, since their blood is concentrated acid that will immediately melt or eat away anything you're wearing, skin included. That's why the alien xenomorphs are our number one.
Get away from her, you bitch!
So there's our top 10 badass movie aliens in our universe. Tell us down below which one is your favorite. I'm Jason Dean for the Joe Blow Movie Network, and thanks for watching.